Remember that dispute between Elon Musk and a Brazilian judge about their responsibility to block accounts who engage in hate speech that's unlawful in Brazil? Apparently, the deadline is tonight. Like tonight. Brazil judge blocks accounts of Musk Starlink amid dispute with social media platform Twitter. The threat to take the website down apparently comes down now. Brazil's top court threatens to ban Elon Musk's Twitter unless Musk names legal representative within 24 hours. Basically, they're like, so Twitter got rid of its Brazil offices. It got rid of its liaison with the Brazilian government. So they were basically saying, we don't even respect your lawsuit enough to engage with it. And now they're saying, like, name a legal representative who will defend you in court, or it's done. Yes, and Elon responded to this by posting an AI photo of the judge who's threatening him behind bars. One day, Alexander, this picture of you in prison will be real. Mark my words. So that's cool, you know? Things are going well there. This will really help the situation. Yeah. You know how sometimes people will go on like the worst subreddits imaginable and find videos of like trashy people or like poor people or people of color or whatever, yell at police or yell at judges? You know, we're so quick to call things trashy when it's from poor people or people of color or whatever, but this is literally just that on the highest possible stage imaginable, right? Like, you know, Elon Musk is such a petulant, whiny bitch that when confronted with literally just like threat of litigation, a very basic component of running a company of this size, lashing out at a judge, you know? I drew you as a soy Wojak. Brazil judge blocks Starlink accounts in the country. Yeah. So they changed the title of this article. When I clicked on it, it said Brazil judge to suspend Twitter tonight, Thursday night. They've changed the title now to refer to the Starlink blocking, which I wasn't familiar with. Remember, Elon Musk is willing to censor critics of Erdogan in Turkey and then defend that decision on Twitter by saying, oh, if I didn't do it, Erdogan would have blocked me on Twitter, or would have blocked Twitter in his country. What am I supposed to do about that? But blocking like Nazis and people who conduct hate speech, he won't do that, even if it means all of Brazil gets blocked. Musk complained on Thursday that Moraes is an outright criminal of the worst kind, masquerading as a judge. Starlink said in its Twitter post that Moraes had issued the order in secret and without affording Starlink any of the due process of law guaranteed by the Constitution of Brazil. Earlier this month, Twitter announced it would close operations and fire its staff in Latin America's biggest economy due to what they called censorship orders from Moraes, while keeping its service available for Brazilian users. At the time, Twitter claimed Moraes secretly threatened one of the company's legal representatives in Brazil with arrest if it didn't comply with legal orders to take down some of the content from its platform. In Wednesday's ruling about Twitter, Moraes said the country's law regulating internet issues, companies that do not respect Brazilian litigation or the confidentiality of private info, could have their activities temporarily suspended. I can't believe how many back and forths this has had. Earlier this year, Moraes ordered Twitter to block certain accounts implicated in investigations of so-called digital militias accused of spreading distortion and hate during the government of far-right former President Jair Bolsonaro. After Musk challenged that decision and said he would reactivate accounts on Twitter that the judge had ordered blocked, Moraes opened an inquiry into the billionaire in early April. Twitter representatives eventually reversed course and told the Supreme Court the social media giant would obey the legal rulings. In April, however, Moraes asked Twitter why it had allegedly not fully complied with his decisions. In response, lawyers representing Twitter in Brazil told the Supreme Court that operational faults had allowed users who were ordered blocked to stay active on the platform. And then when they continued to press on that, Elon Musk shut down the office and said no. I wonder if they're really going to do it. I mean, if they do it, it's going to be within a few hours, right? And keep in mind, I know people are going to say that this is like anti-free speech, but this is the most clear-cut shit in the world. Brazil has a law that prohibits certain types of hate speech or disinfo. Twitter initially said it would comply with banning people, but then didn't comply. And when pressed on it further, Elon just like withdrew from Brazil. I mean, how can you defend yourself in court if you don't even have a representative to do so? I'm seeing people on Threads saying they lost access to Twitter right now. No kidding. Has it begun? Well, that certainly looks like Portuguese. As in, it looks like Spanish, but kind of weird. Those might be memes. Maybe. You think someone would do that? Just go on the internet and lie? Threads is going to get a huge boost. Also, Brazilians are really funny. I'm going to miss them. Brazilians have spirit, you know? They have energy. I may not be able to understand your weird, not Spanish language. Not that I could understand it if it was Spanish, but, you know, Portuguese is a beautiful language. That's very woke of you, Thana. A lot of smut artists I follow are Brazilian. I mean, I don't want to, like, further any stereotypes, but I think it's pretty well known, and we can all accept, we're adult enough to accept, that Brazilians good, you know? And that translates into the spirit of the country and the spirit of the energy that they bring, you know, out just generally. And I think it's okay to acknowledge that, as long as they don't block VGG in Brazil, okay? We fully comply with Brazil's hate speech laws. Does this mean the accounts will be deleted? No, it just means that you won't be able to access Twitter from a Brazilian IP address. I think, I don't know, net coding stuff is really complicated. I'm not going to pretend that I understand it, but like if your like network infrastructure is set up in the country that you're in, you like plug it into the line and the line goes to like servers that run through infrastructure that's specific to your country, and they just won't accept info to and from Twitter. I think that's not got to do with coding, lol. Well, me not knowing that it has to do with coding would be knowledge that I don't have. So shut up. Goodbye, Brazilian Miku. Isn't it fitting? Isn't it fitting this would happen right after Brazilian Miku kicked off a gigantic, like, high energy art storm? It's like the final hurrah of Brazilians on Twitter. The big send-off, you know? Now everyone will think of them favorably. I really do hope that it happens, though. As sad as it will be to not have Brazilians on Twitter, whose presence I enjoy very much, I think that, like, there needs to be consequences. I am so sick and tired of the European Union threatening Twitter every 5 days for, like, hey, it's illegal to be a neo-Nazi, Elon Musk, and you are a neo-Nazi. Can you stop, please? And then nothing happens, you know? Because they're too pussy to ban Twitter, even though they should. And, like, that would be a compliance with their laws. The European Union is just slow. Yeah, you know why? Because it's led by Germans rather than Brazilians. If the EU was led by Brazilians, I bet they already would have settled this shit, you know? Because they have the fire in their blood, you know? The Germans, the hoity-toity bureaucrats, no, we don't respect them. Belgians, Vosh, so it's even worse. French, Germans. Yeah, all the good Germans are further south. As a German, I agree with you. Yeah, we need to put... The EU can be led by Germans, but it needs to be led by, like, Southern Alp adjacent German. You know, we need like the really gay loud ones, basically. Not the Austrians, but I didn't say Austrians. I just mean, you know, mountain lederhosen, you know, Bavarian type. That's more east than south, but you know what I'm talking about. You know the stereotypes. Not Bavarians anything but. Yeah. West Germany is really left-leaning. Yeah, but they abandoned East Germany, which wasn't very left-leaning of them.